an institute. I don't recall where exactly off the top of my head, but basically it's going to be like a research
in the
institute.
Commonwealth.
Like,
What? I'm an idiot.
that one guy.
I wasn't paying attention at all.
You're not even telling a story right now.
I was thinking about Fallout 4.
Hello and welcome back to VTTV. I'm Zach.
And I'm Eli.
And we are still playing Super Mario World.
And I'm about to get beaten on this star path.
We'll see.
What was I about? I wanted to save this for channel discussion. Have you ever been spelunking?
As in caving?
Yes. I don't know what other kind of spelunking you would think about. Yeah, me and my friends just went yesterday to Petty John's Cave in Chickamauga, Georgia. And I've been there before. This is like my fourth time going. It's so much fun. It's very dangerous, even though it's considered entry level, but it's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout, so caving was a regular part of my troop's old activities. So we did Raccoon Mountain, which is a very easy, nice little leisurely 6-hour hike through the mountain. And it's a cave that's actually in a mountain, so it's above, like you're above the ground technically because you're in a mountain. But first try, baby.
Nice.
But that was a great trip.
I'm
Raccoon
only a
Mountain's
little
awesome.
mad.
It's guided, and it's a set path. And then I've also been on trips into caves that we were just let loose.
But you didn't have to do any kind of climbing.
All
right, well, hang on. Do I need to do this one again, or can I?
You got to beat your level, man.
Well, all right. You didn't have to do climbing.
I mean, not for Raccoon Mountain, but I mean, I have done climbing like bouldering in caves, or just having to climb through the cave. I've done that before.
Oh, snap.
You fool! You chose poorly.
Yeah, I did. See, Petty John's Cave has a lot of climbing involved.
I'm not familiar with Petty
Even
John.
though it's considered entry level, it's still like very. Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah. No spoilers for you on what the next level contains.
You've already spoiled my level. All right.
Where is Petty John's?
Petty John's is in Chickamauga. So it's like, I think it's the next one I needed to hit.
Gotcha.
It's oh no. It's like 2 hours north, northwest, I guess.
I like how you didn't have to do anything.
I know. That was a panic jump. I've been there a few times before, and there's a waterfall that I have found in the past. That the way I was told you're supposed to find it was, I like this. This is neat. The way I was told you're supposed to find it is you go down this certain path, and eventually the path kind of dead ends into this like really small tunnel that you can barely crawl through, and it's half filled with water, and cave water is extremely cold.
Yep.
And then you just follow that path till you get to the waterfall. So the most recent time I had been to the cave, I found that tunnel, and it was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life, because it's like probably 40-degree water, or mid 40s, and it's like crawling in like a coffin-sized
right, not a lot of space to move
enclosure, half filled with water. It's awful. Nice. And I found the waterfall, but none of my friends wanted to go with me. They're like, we're gonna stay behind.
Good friends.
On the way back from the waterfall, like I was looking at the tunnel, and I'm like, all right, well, I gotta psych myself up to crawl back through this again. And I saw another like path branching off to the left. I was like, I'm just gonna see what's down that path. And I followed that path, and after a while I could hear my friends' voices, and I was like, guys, and they kind of poked their head around a corner. So there was an alternate path to the cave that I didn't know about until after I'd already gotten covered in mud and 40 something degree water. It was. Okay, you know what? How do you? We gotta speed this up.
By cheating.
I need to stop talking so much.
Just stop telling
and
stories.
just pay attention to the game. But this time, so I knew how to get to the waterfall, but for some reason, this time, even though I did everything right, I somehow couldn't find it, and I was very disappointed. Okay, this wasn't a terror. Well, why didn't it land on the bottom path?
Well, now you can finish your story.
I mean, I don't know what else I had to say about it. This time around, I never found the waterfall, and I was pretty.
Oh, that's bull crap. I definitely was over that.
Pretty ticked off I couldn't find it, but we still had fun. We saw other stuff.
Nice.
We quote unquote rescued 3 people. As we were leaving, we saw these other 3 kids close to the exit.
And they just stopped chasing.
And they were like, "Hey, how do we get to blah blah blah?" And I was like, "I don't really know." They're like, "Well, we've kind of gone around in circles, yada yada yada." I was like, "All right, well, we're leaving. We're done for the day." They were like, "Okay, well, we'll just follow you guys out," and they did. And we had a couple slow people in our group, so we kind of got to a point where we were waiting on them to finish climbing out, and the kids went ahead. And as we were leaving, there was a dude at the entrance that was like, "Were you the guys that rescued those 3 kids?" And we're like, "I don't know about that."
Don't know about
They're
rescue.
like, "They said they were lost and they've been in the cave for 7.5 hours."
Jeez.
So I guess we rescued 3 kids while we were there.
Good job, Eli.
Didn't mean to. We were just like, "Hey, we're
by
leaving."
accident, but we rescued them.
We also picked up 2 girls at the start of our trip. Like
Nice.
we were going. The entrance to the cave is a tight hole you kind of got to crawl down, and if you don't know where it is and you're not looking for it, you won't see it. So they were like, "Hey, how do you get to the pancake squeeze?" And I was like, "Well, we're heading that way if you just want to follow us." And so they stuck with us for the rest of the trip. They had been in there for, I don't know, an hour prior to us, just lost. So
that dude killed my...
we interacted with a total of 5 people who would have been lost without us.
Nice.
It was kind of cool.
You're doing something good for the world. Well, it's like my boss and I are meeting a potential client tomorrow for lunch, and he's building an institute. I don't recall where exactly off the top of my head, but basically it's going to be like a research
In the
institute.
Commonwealth.
Like,
What? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
that one guy.
I wasn't paying attention at all.
You're not even telling a story right now.
I was thinking about Fallout 4 because I thought about the Institute.
But it's a research institute, and it's like super carbon negative and like super ultra high efficiency, brand new technology. And my company we're software developers, so we're talking about doing the software like entry and exit and room maintenance and that sort of thing, just being as cutting edge, bleeding edge as humanly possible. But a part of me is also like, is this going to become the Institute from Fallout?
Oh, come on.
There's definitely like an edge of because it's outside of the U.S. So it's like, is this going to be a dark research institute where they're, inhuman
Creating
conditions,
synths.
creating chimeras and atrocities that would be against the Geneva Convention?
I know Fallout 4 is like nobody's favorite Fallout except mine, but the Institute is one of the reasons why I love Fallout 4. I love the idea of some like corporate boogeyman that is kidnapping citizens, but nobody knows where they are because they're underground. But everybody knows they exist, but nobody knows how to find them. That's just a cool gimmick.
You like that concept?
Yeah. But man, talking about Bethesda titles just reminds me of how freaking excited I am about Starfield. I so can't wait.
Yeah, Starfield's gonna be good.
I saw some tech guys talking about, like, they did a breakdown of the reveal trailer, or not the direct, and like analyzing like the lighting in the trailer and all that kind of stuff. Well, apparently the game that was dumb.
Yeah,
the console version of the game is going to be locked at 30 frames per second.
Yeah,
which I'm not upset about.
That makes
the
sense.
Game's doing so much.
It'll probably be they're probably going to uncap it on the series, on the Xbox Series.
No,
really?
that's 30.
Wow,
but it's 4K
because the series is extremely powerful.
Yeah, but I mean, it's 4K 60 is a lot of work.
That is a lot of.
I'm not paying. I keep forgetting to pay attention right here. I'm just like in coasting mode,
forgetting to play the game. That is. I mean,
But the game does so
stoked.
much.
I am so stoked for Starfield. So I've got Game Pass, so it comes out on Game Pass day one.
Right.
That's how I'm planning to play it.
Same.
But also Game Pass just has a ton of other games that I play all the time. But Starfield looks amazing. Like there was an article I saw that was like somebody found all the skill trees. Like I don't know how what they were hacking or what, but they got all the skill trees from Starfield already. So you know what all the skills and abilities are. And I was so tempted to read it. I'm like, no, I gotta go in as clean as I can.
Yeah, I want to. I already feel like I know too much just from the direct.
Why was I not like picking up speed? Maybe it's just ice. I can't remember if the ice physics you can't pick up speed in this game. But
I don't know.
I also remember like it is possible to go through this entire level without ever hitting the ground, like just jumping off enemies.
That'd be a little difficult.
I mean, you get up enough speed, and with the Koopas and all the shells getting thrown around, and that sort of thing. I mean,
because when you look at everything the game's gonna be doing, like it's getting like all the planet lighting is coming from the star associated with it.
right? One source.
Yeah. They're going to have object permanence, which is so rare in video
I don't even
games.
have that.
Huh? Yeah. No other Bethesda game has Skyrim comes close to object permanence, but it's like 2 weeks in game before it resets.
And it's only in certain areas. Like some areas, just as soon as you leave the area, it's done.
Yeah, but apparently this is going to have true object permanence. So it's like the game's got to keep up with a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Having the stars as the light source is using up a ton of data. Like it's doing a lot. So apparently Todd Howard said that they can push 60 frames a second at 4K, but it's not consistent. Mm-hmm. So their main priority is a consistent quality experience. And 30 frames per second is not bad.
No, it's fine. It's playable. As long as it doesn't dip below that, right? I mean, it's like
I'm gonna.
You're so scared of that guy now. Also, I found our thumbnail for this video. When you upload it, you messed up.
Oh, I'm dumb. All right. Well, just to speed this up,
the thumbnail though is you've got 69 lives, and the name of this level is way cool. So there's your thumbnail.
I'm trying
to just had to stand there.
Oh, what the do? There was something else I was going to say about Starfield.
And of course, when it comes out, we'll probably both do solo content on it.
We can, yeah.
I mean, I can always probably. I mean, I'll probably do like with Wo Long, like I did with Wo Long, where I play it for one episode and then never do it again because
life is busy.
Life is busy. And having to talk while playing a game is annoying, especially when it's a game I don't know anything about. Like, it's not too bad when there's both of us here because one of us can carry the conversation and the other one can be playing or dying to random enemies like you. Hey, but whew, yeah. So I don't know. We'll figure it out when it comes out. I'm also really just concerned that it's going to come out and it's just not going to be good.
Oh, what? That was dumb. I really expect it to be good. I should probably jump. Whoo! Dumb. All right. Well, I'll take that one.
That's the end of the level right there.
I'll take that one. There was something else about Starfield that I was going to say. What was I going to say? I said object permanence. Motion blur. That's how they're going to help with the 30 frames per second. Is the tech guys were saying more about it than I could understand, but that's kind of neat. You could just get whichever Koopa you wanted.
Yep.
they're incorporating motion blur to help mitigate the stutteriness of 30 frames a second. Even though 30 isn't really stuttery.
I don't like motion blur.
Well.
There it is. That's what I want. Thank you.
Why do you want the wings? You could have just gotten the blue Koopa.
Yeah, but I just wanted to continue eating apples because it scratches the part of my brain that wants to eat all the apples.
I need to go buy apples. I haven't had apples in a while.
Really? Apples are dope.
I like them.
Doctors are terrified of them.
I just haven't had them in a while. Red Delicious is a garbage apple.
It's a garbage apple that should not exist.
It's a garbage apple. Yeah. Apparently it was like, I read some, I didn't know you could do that. I read a whole article about how Red Delicious got its name. It was like some mutation of a different red apple that truly was really incredible. But due to being able to mass produce,
that was a really easy level for one of the special levels.
Yeah. Due to having to mass produce the apples and ship them, they had to alter the genes of it. So the original Red Delicious apple was really good, but what we have now is absolutely garbage.
Waxy garbage.
It's so bad. It's the worst apple.
I agree. I'll agree with that sentiment. It's got the right texture though. It's the right hardness. I like a hard apple. I like crunchy hard apples.
I mean, I don't really care. I'm used to both because my grandfather has. Oh, come on. My grandfather has apple trees, and his farm-grown apples will be pretty soft.
Mm-hmm. So my grandparents own property up in North Carolina. Deep in the mountains. It's a couple 100 acres. There's logging trails. They live in a valley. It's really gorgeous. But there was a neighbor down the road who had a June apple tree. And June apples are a little unique. They've got a red pulp. They're red on the inside instead of that yellow, soft, off-white.
Or white, yeah.
They're red, like blood red. And so they would make applesauce out of these June apples. And June apples are very tart, so it would be a crap load of sugar. And it is the best applesauce you will ever eat in your life. It's a June apple applesauce. Because it's tart, it's strong, and you can put it on anything. You can put it on bread, you can put it on... Okay, I guess really just bread. That's really all you can... use it like a jam.
Okay, I'm gonna...
You gotta get past this level at some point.
It's hard!
Video games are hard. It's even harder whenever you get a microphone on you and... permanent
I'll
There's the end.
I know, but
you just jumped off.
I need to earn it. I can't just keep redoing over and over and over. Did your parents ever make or grandparents ever make apple butter?
Oh yeah,
apple butter is so good.
Oh yeah, apple butter is dope.
For anybody who's never had apple butter, it's not butter. It's really an apple sauce, but with cinnamon,
bunch of stuff.
Probably brown sugar.
I've got some in the fridge right now.
It's so good.
Because I make a lot of bread, mostly peasant bread, which is no need. You're done in an hour. From beginning to end is about a little over an hour, and then you've got bread.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not fancy. My mother-in-law does a sourdough loaf that's exceptional, but it's a 12-hour long process that she works on every hour, to knead it and stuff. And I'm like, that's just too much work. I just want bread.
I think I made a boo-boo.
Not yet. I'm pretty sure you can go along the bottom.
Yeah, I probably could have if I was a decent gamer. I've never ever made bread. I've gotten more and more into cooking as I've gotten older, but I've never made bread.
It's not hard. It's mostly just waiting.
So with the peasant bread, do you have a mother yeast?
Nope. I just use active dry.
What is that?
It's just yeast.
Like a store-bought?
Yep.
Okay.
Buy it at a store, it does the job.
Excuse me. There we go. I've never bought yeast, but...
I've got some in the freezer. You can take some if you want.
Well, see, me and my roommate are about to start... He's made beer before. I have not. Mm-hmm. But together we're about to make a mead. Mm-hmm. And I guess... You have to buy. I guess you buy a yeast for any alcohol you make.
You gotta use brewer's yeast, for that.
Yeah, it's not store bought like bread yeast.
No, you can. It is store bought you can get just brewer's yeast, but it's not. Yeah, it's definitely a different thing from.
Well, I'm sure they don't. They probably don't sell it at Kroger.
Depends on the Kroger, because that's the thing about most that frame rate. Yikes.
Wow.
I mean, I guess all those questionable. I'm sure there's got to be some. No, maybe this is just. I'm moving on. I'm moving on with my life. Oh no, Yoshi. Yeah, but I mean, I've got yeast, like tons of yeast, because I bought it from Costco, and you can freeze it and it'll last a pretty long while. And then you just have to start it whenever you use it. But yeah, you can have some. You can take, and I'll shoot you the recipe I use for bread because it's super easy. You just flour, salt, sugar, yeast, water. You let it sit for an hour, then you split it, let it rise for 20 minutes.
All right, I say try.
Throw it in the
then
oven.
We call this episode.
What do we call this episode?
We could say red delicious apples are garbage. That could be the thumbnail with Yoshi eating an apple.
That would work. With the just do like all the thumbnails, so it's like a 69 way cool Yoshi eating the apple. Red delicious are garbage apples for garbage human beings. Usually, mostly we're eating like gala apples these days because they're small. So like my kids will actually eat most of an apple rather than just.
I'm sure I've had a gala, but I don't
never touch it again.
I can't think of. Is that one kind of yellow?
It's pinkish.
Okay, I like Fiji a lot.
Fijis are good.
And Granny Smith. I mean, Granny Smith is kind of a basic apple, but
Granny Smiths are just so tart. Like they're great for cooking. Like if you're doing any cooking, Granny Smiths is the way to go.
I'm an idiot.
Well, we already knew that, but you don't have to call yourself
out
for it.
I like the fact that they're tart. That's what makes them good. I like the sour. Oh, come on. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of like native fruits and veggies. So like next year, Reagan and my wife and I are planning on doing a garden, and I'm looking at like some Jerusalem artichoke. That's the end. Just jump and go. Just send it. Full send. You hesitated, you didn't full send. But like Jerusalem artichokes, which are like the highest producing vegetable. They produce more than like potatoes. You want to get your ticker tape. Red currants and black currants, which are native to the U.S., are also like a berry that we're planning on doing. So I'm a big proponent of native.
If I ever get to the point where I own land, I definitely want to have blueberry bushes and apple trees.
Blueberry bushes are easy. Apple trees
and Georgia's a great state for blueberries.
You're gonna get a lot of bees and wasps and hornets with any kind of fruit.
It would have to be a lot of land. I don't want it next to the house.
Right, that's fair. All right, well, thank you for joining us. Actually, I've got persimmons in my backyard. I forgot about that. So my back deck, they've started to drop. So my back deck has.
Have you had your kids eat an unripened persimmon?
No, they avoid them. Fortunately, we haven't had to deal with that.
Well, I'm saying as a prank.
Oh yeah, but that would be
unripe persimmon is the worst.
So there's two types of persimmons. There's stringent and there's non-stringent. And the stringent ones are the super tart, like cottonmouth your mouth, like they're rough. But the other varieties, which is the Japanese variety, are actually pretty pleasant. But yeah. Fun stuff. Well, thank y'all for joining us on this episode of Super Mario World. We're definitely going to keep finished. We're almost done here. I mean, I've got like two more special levels and then Bowser's Castle, and then we'll be done with this game. So if you'd like to see a different game, what other games you would like to see, go ahead and drop a comment, follow, subscribe.
See you guys later.
Bye.